Look at what is sitting here in the parking lot waiting for me, the Lucid Air Touring. And I have the key fob, or the key fob shaped thing that gives me access to this electric vehicle. Time to spend a couple days living with the Lucid and seeing what it's like. It should be fully charged. It's waking up for me. Green light means it should be fully charged. We'll go ahead and unplug it. All right, look at some of that ambient lighting. A lot of screens. What is the range showing? 380 miles on a full charge. And yep, it does have Apple CarPlay now, which was added via an over-the-air update. I don't think it was available at launch, but now we do have CarPlay. Yes, launch Apple CarPlay, please. Fantastic. Oh, there we go on that screen. There is obviously a ton of technology and features in the Lucid Air, so let me spend some time with it driving home tonight, kind of orientating myself, learning a bit, getting familiar. We'll pick this video up tomorrow morning. I was actually genuinely excited this morning when I woke up because I knew I was gonna come outside, go in the driveway, get in the Lucid Air, and drive it to work. Definitely super looking forward to spending some time with this EV. Ooh, the taillight's just like lit up. It sensed my approach. Yeah, there's no unlock or anything. You just walk up, the car knows, and yeah, see the door handles have popped out. And we're just gonna go ahead. I've got a bunch of camera gear, gym bag, backpack to load up into the Lucid Air. I'm gonna go ahead, open the trunk and the frunk. Okay, that's a pretty wide front trunk. And then looks like, oh, that's huge. Wow, underneath this folding cover, that is a massive amount of space down there. And now this cover here allows for a flat load floor. It's like, wow. All right, that is one of the biggest front trunks I've seen. And then the trunk is fairly spacious too. It's pretty deep. It goes back in there. And then we have a hidden space down here that has this cover on it. Pretty impressed so far with the initial impressions on the storage space of the Lucid Air. All right, practicality is already a huge pro for me with this car. That's a lot of storage space. And then the front trunk, I just threw my gym bag in there. Off closed doors. Thank you very much. And then we're ready to drive away. 52 degrees. It was like 80 yesterday, so that's a massive temperature drop. So I am gonna go ahead and turn on my heated seat, heated steering wheel, raise the temperature slightly, and that's it. Oh, wireless CarPlay should boot up. Perfect. Drive. We're off to, oh, I gotta put my seatbelt on, and then we're off. Check out the camera tech on here. Regular backup camera there, and this massive 360 overhead view, surround view, as we back into a space. And then when we start getting close, you can see the little like waves around the car for proximity. So back into a space. Oh, I did not do that good of a job parking. I'll adjust that slightly. That's better. Press the button at the end here for park. And we're done. Pop the front trunk. Hello. This hidden secret storage compartment is really cool. I put the camera in there when we left the car, so it's out of sight. Screen closes back down. We're heading off to get a haircut because my hair is a disaster. I'm about to start traveling a bunch. So, obviously, taking a Lucid. Ooh, yep, it's waking up. Just look at this panoramic glass roof. It's definitely heavy and raises the center of gravity, but I think the trade-off is worth it. You can get the aluminum roof, which is gonna be a bit lighter, and I think like the Air Sapphire, for example, only comes with the aluminum roof because that one is much more for the pursuit of performance, but I personally am a huge fan of it. It's definitely a cool talking point. It makes the cabin feel so open and airy. It's kind of funny seeing the sun visors also just floating in the middle of nothing. One of these are like glued or suction cupped on or something. They feel pretty sturdy. And then you can see the gradual tinting of the glass as it goes from the windshield area to the roof. Although I would be terrified if you get like a rock chip or something bad, because I think you'd have to replace the entire roof and windshield, right? There is a pillar here, a bar in the middle, and then you have the back. Oh man, it makes the back seat look super open and airy too, so we'll have to get back there later on. But we have to head off to get a haircut. I can independently control if I want the seat back or just the seat bottom heated. So you can turn it on, off, or turn on, just want the bottom, I don't want the back heated. It's pretty nifty. Heated steering wheel button. That looks like a steering wheel, but it also looks like a little race helmet to me. And then cooled seats. Don't need that, it's cold out. Heated seats, and we're in smooth drive mode right now. Pretty aggressive regen braking too. You can drive this with just one pedal. Oh, look at that. We have the little blind spot camera when you turn signal. Nice. Although Kia and Hyundai, I think, did that first. So watch, when you turn the wheel, you see that dashed line? It's showing, I think, the projection of where the car would turn, help you avoid curbs. Don't want to curb the wheels either. This is also a really cool feature. It gives you an approximate distance, 56 inches, and watch as we back up. As I approach the curb, or it sends something, yep, 16 inches away from whatever object starts beeping. That's pretty cool. That's fancy tech. There are so many camera angles here. Ooh, oh, it has the 3D render, of course. Gonna go to... Wow. Wow. That's pretty fun. Well, I got my haircut, and now it is cold, windy, and raining, so I'm glad I didn't wash the car quite yet. This weather definitely took a turn for the worse. So it looks like the windshield wiper controls are here on this left little touch screen here. We'll go auto low. There we go. Auto high, what do these do? Oh, that must be an independent settings of just on or off, okay. Calm down there, being a little dramatic. Windshield wipers, auto low, that should be fine. So I had that little orange warning triangle pop up and I wasn't sure what it was, but it just showed LiDAR blocked, try cleaning sensor. The car is a bit dirty, started raining, so the LiDAR is not able to properly see. I'll clean the car off and hopefully that goes away. That is something I'm always thinking about when these really, really fancy cars have so much technology. They are reliant upon sensors and cameras. And if those sensors or cameras fail or even just get dirty or obstructed, then the car is disabled or blind, right? It's not able to handle what it needs to do. It happened to me once in a 7 Series actually. It was snowing really, really hard and like everything wasn't working because the front of the car was coated in snow and ice. It was like pedestrian warning is gone, adaptive cruise is gone, lane keep assist is gone, everything, right? So if you're trying to have like autonomous self-driving little car, how is it gonna work if the sensor gets dirty like right now? It'll just throw a warning and what, park you on the side of the road? So humans are still important. We still have to drive. All right, even in the rain, let's see if we have any struggles with traction. We'll be a bit judicious with the go pedal. Nothing. That all-wheel drive, it just goes. Now, this is not the crazy high power one. It's 620 horsepower, 885 pound-feet of torque, but, woo. Yeah, that's it. I'm in Swift mode right now. When it's dry out, we'll do sprint and launch control, which I did try last night, and it's freaking awesome. I have plenty of range left, but I'm gonna go ahead and plug in because it's the weekend coming up and I don't feel like charging over the weekend. It even shows a distance up front. That should be good. Park. We're down to 320 miles to empty. Empty, I guess empty is still valid. Charging, 320 miles. How have I been driving though? Because I don't think I've been very, very efficient with how I'm driving. I can go to vehicle, trip information. Oh yeah, okay, so 41 miles since the last charge, 3 miles per kilowatt hour. That's about half of what the car's lifetime average. So yeah, Eddie's been having fun with it, right? So hopefully we'll get a bit more efficient later on, but I'm gonna go ahead and open up the charge door, plug it in, and we'll come back with a full charge. So the trip computer for info since the last charge has reset, and I'm gonna try actually to drive normally and see how efficient I can be in the Lucid Air. You see the historical ones for Trip A and Trip B at over 1,000 miles, 1.6 miles since the last charge. Let's see what miles per kilowatt hour we can achieve, which means being responsible with the accelerator and not just flooring it everywhere I go. From a range standpoint, the Lucid Air is quite impressive. Given the battery pack size, this can do 425 miles on a full charge EPA rating if you have the 19-inch wheels. But like this one with the 20-inch wheels, it will drop to EPA estimate 384 miles, and that is quite impressive. On a full charge, it's been showing close to that. I think I got in the car at 379 miles indicated. We'll see what it actually is in the real world. But then there's also the bigger extended range battery pack Lucids that do even further. There's one that does 516 miles of range, which is seriously impressive, especially when you think about something like the Audi e-tron or maybe a Porsche Taycan. Some of them are like half the range of this. So at 384 miles for this one, I'm definitely interested to see what it's like in real world, and will it help some of the range anxiety that I sometimes feel, which is ultimately actually more like charging anxiety.
This is fun.
Is it that bad? Is it that bad? All right, so Andrew just called me, and I've got CarPlay running, and he's saying the audio is terrible on his end. Is it really that bad?
It's bad.
So CarPlay was an over-the-air update they added to this car, but regardless, it should be fine. So I don't know if it's a software thing, a random glitch. Maybe Apple's just trying to make me upgrade to an iPhone 15 Pro, but apparently Andrew says I sound terrible. Obviously, I'm talking here, and it sounds fine to me. You sound fine to me, Andrew, so.
Well, you sound terrible to me. Plus, I can hear all of me speaking twice.
Maybe it's just a glitch. Well, we can find out by ending the call and trying it again. Is this any better?
No, it's terrible still.
So it's the car then. So it seems like CarPlay was doing terrible things to my phone call audio with Andrew. So I'm gonna have to test it with a couple other people. Hopefully it's not actually the car, but we just had the rest of our phone call on speakerphone, and it was totally fine from his side. So we'll figure that out. Otherwise, I am home now. It is Friday evening. I am exhausted, so I'm gonna go home, relax for the night, get a few things done. We'll pick this back up in the morning with more time spent with the Lucid Air. We are off to run some errands. I've got to go to the grocery store, pick up a bunch of stuff because we're making dumplings later. My parents are coming in town to visit, invited some friends over, well, because dumplings are also delicious, which means we're gonna take the Lucid out. I'm excited. This is a good sign of a car that I like because I'm excited to go out and take it places and drive it and make up reasons to go places, right? The key fob though is definitely interesting. I'm still very much getting used to just leaving this little plastic thing in my pocket, and you just get in the car and you get out the car. There's no turning it on, there's no turning it off, there's no locking, unlocking, and it's a little weird for me. I know people with EVs are very much used to them, like doing that type of thing, but it's just still weird to me. I think I'm actually gonna use the front trunk today. But if you look at the trunk, it's very deep and pretty spacious, but because of the way the rear windshield slopes in, there was not that much like opening here space. So if you have like I had my little Pelican case for my cameras trying to open it, and the lid was hitting this because there's not a huge space here. On my Audi, like when you open the trunk, this entire part would open up and you have a lot more like space to be down into it. I mean, I'm seriously like nitpicking right now, but it was something I noticed with the rear trunk. It's got a little cooler. The divider down, and there is a button right here inside the front trunk that we can push and it will close itself. I didn't see that earlier on today, and with that, off we go. There are so many cool interior details on this Lucid Air. I'll spend some time later on giving you guys a more in-depth tour, and I need to do the full formal review, which will be a separate video, but CarPlay will launch, figure out where I'm going. I'm heading to H Mart because all the stuff I need is going to be at H Mart, so off we go. All right, we have arrived and parked, and I have to share one complaint, and it's the steering wheel. Do you hear that? Like the creaking noise? Now, I'm not really exerting that much force. And then like this piece here, the plastic. So I've noticed a couple times when I just went to grab the steering wheel, right, to like make a turn, it would make that creaking plastic noise, and not a huge fan of that, and a little bit disappointed because everything else on the interior is so nice. The materials, the cloth contrast there, the leather, the wood grain here, the screens, like the wood grain coming across the center here is all really nice. All the materials and tech have been nice. I'm just, the steering wheel. See, like, just lightly grabbing it. Ah. Hope the mic is picking that up. The steering wheel itself is pretty basic. We have two rotating knobs here. This one is like volume up and down, forward and back for your audio track, mic, adaptive cruise control buttons right there. And that's pretty much it. It's just that, like the creaking plastic sound. I also really do like having the overhead view camera pull up on this screen here, and then the regular camera there, and it seems to go really wide. It's a very nice big screen, but usually sometimes you just see a little bit outside of the car. This goes super wide, and the cool little display of the distance. With that, we're gonna go ahead and put the camera back in this hidden storage compartment and go get some groceries. A cart full of H-Mart groceries. Into the front trunk we go. Have a little cooler bag here. Again, tons of space down below. But I'm pretty sure everything will fit just here on the top layer. Yeah, that was not even a proper test of the cargo capacity. I would have to go to Costco and buy like everything. Front trunk practicality. And again, always put your carts back. Be a good human being. I'm discovering that most of the time I just drive in smooth mode because that 885 pound-feet of torque is plenty in all situations. And it definitely is smooth. Pretty aggressive regen braking as soon as you let off the accelerator. It'll start slowing the car, and you can have this really cool display here in the middle that shows power and or regen. The instant acceleration. It's crazy to think that this is just like the normal one. Obviously they launched the pure rear-wheel drive. That's like the entry-level one, and that's not slow either. Like, it's still 0 to 60 in under 4 seconds, I believe. 3.4 in this one with launch control, which we'll do again. I'll show that on camera. I've done it probably like 6 times already, and it's hilarious. It's also pretty quiet and well insulated. Just hear a little bit of the road noise, a little bit of the electric motor noise. Conventional suspension, so nothing crazy isolated. Like, you can feel the bumps when you go over it. Still feels very solid, but not like my A8, for example, that just floats over everything. Well, that's a new one. You see that little warning icon with the eye off? It told me driver monitoring system unavailable, unblock face, remove steering wheel. I haven't done anything. I'm just sitting here driving. So the car is watching me, but I guess not right now. I don't know if that's something's actually, I don't know where the camera is. It must be hidden somewhere down in there. This lower screen is very well done. I've become very comfortable with it. Doesn't require looking at it too long. The icons are a nice size. It's quick and responsive to change HVAC settings, going back to the vehicle settings. I'm a big fan of this screen down here. Unlike the Mercedes one, which requires a PhD to operate, and I struggle hard with the Mercedes one. And then we have CarPlay pulled up on that screen up there. I gotta show the functionality of also like pulling the menu down to the bottom screen. We'll do that when stationary. I don't know what happened, but it's happy again. Driver monitoring is active. Okay. Look what I just discovered. This actually has a button. Looks like it'll lock the car. Okay, cool. So you can either walk away or actually use this fob thing in the middle. And I think if I hold it, will it open the front trunk? Yep. So that's how you open the front trunk from outside. You hold the key fob button there. Cool. We're gonna take the Lucid through one of those touchless washes and then go film the review. Another fun day with the Lucid. While we are waiting in line, let's do a quick interior tour up here. So I've shown you a lot of this screen here. And again, I love this feature. I've just got my sunglasses hiding in there, put my camera in there. And I like that it's hidden when you wanna walk away from the car. Actually, oh, it's not completely hidden. I see, okay. Well, it's still a little more out of the way. I didn't realize there were little openings on the side here. But this screen here is a quite nice touch screen. So the icons are very large, easy to see. This controls your drive modes, smooth, swift. The visual changes there too. And then sprint, asks you to confirm this is max everything. So we do launch control. Go back into there. We've got controls here. If you want to change your steering wheel, you can do here, and then let's just say I want to adjust it outward or inward. See it moving there. So that's how you do it with the touch button. And we can save it to the profile. Same thing for the mirrors. I can fold the side mirrors in too. So everything is through the touch screen here. But again, the icons are easy to use. Lock, unlock, trunk, opening, front trunk, trip computer, pulls up, kind of go into the vehicle settings here. So this is all the different settings. Going back to the middle, very easily adjust the brightness of all the screens. So at night, if you want to dim it a little bit more. And then door openings, everything from the charging door to privacy shade in the back. That can go up there. Child lock, no children in the car, we're okay there. Seat controls, pretty straightforward. The color themes at night, I'll show that better because during the day you can't really see the ambient lighting, but they have them named here. Charging settings, you can precondition if you want to do fast charging. This thing, if your charging can support it, is crazy quick. It's like a 900 volt architecture, which means it's faster. Very quickly gets us over to your climate settings, front and rear. Again, just look at the icon size. The UI is very easy to use. Heated steering wheel, on, off, heated seats, so forth. Like, it's just really easy to understand, and I actually don't miss physical buttons for this. We do have them here if you want to change your temperature quickly. We have these little toggles here for fan speed too, and then this is your volume control. But this screen, I'm a fan of it. Settings here. Also, Dream Drive is the driving assistant. I actually am not a huge fan of it, so I actually turned off the lane departure intervention. I have just set it to a warning, and I haven't really done much with the other stuff. It's not quite as advanced as like GM Super Cruise, so not my absolute favorite, but all the settings, and then your parking surround view. Also has auto park, but all the cameras, I showed you that, a little bit of that already too. 360 render, a virtual render. Pretty cool. This tech is just awesome. Hello, giant Nissan behind me. Gets a little warpy, obviously. And then up here we have another part of this floating 34-inch 5K infotainment screen here. It does have wireless CarPlay, but a cool thing. So if I want to do navigation, once that boots up, all right, you see this right here? It pulls it onto the bottom screen so I could enter destinations down here, which is pretty nifty. Or you can just pull it back up to the top and it goes away from the bottom screen there. So I'm here on the main screen here. I can scroll this down and it shows up here. I think I can do that with music too. Yep, you can drop this down for your different sources. Apple CarPlay active. Yep, I know that. You can change that. CarPlay only stays on this touchscreen though, so that there's nothing to drag down to this bottom screen here. CarPlay only exists up here. And then the main cluster is pretty simple. It just has the Air logo here, your power, your charge. It shows if you're going into regen or using the power, your remaining range down to 319 miles, odometer, and then you can change that trip computer. I can change what is shown on the settings here in the middle screen. So I've been using my odometer since last charge. And then we just have this little touchscreen here. Quick shortcuts for some of your convenience settings, opening the front trunk, charging, port opening, headlight control. That noise is traffic cleared, so it's sensing in front, reminding me you can start moving forward. And it is really cool how this screen is like floating here. Nice wood trim, cloth, leather, and the door handle is this little knob that you pull back and it opens. Soft close doors. But yeah, it's this little knob thing here. A lot of space in the middle. Cup holders, these hold your phones in. I do not see a wireless charger though. There are little ports here you can plug in, but I don't see a wireless charger. Center console, there's a little bear logo on there. Little Easter eggs. Can I close this too? Oh yeah, I can close it. More of that wood trim. So that would be hidden. That you can put something in there, hide it. Did not realize you can see under there. Sure. Seats are pretty comfortable. Heated and cooled headrests are pretty nice. I think massage is an option that's not on this car here. And then we have suede from the headliner to the floating sun visors that are just stuck in there. I love the glass roof. Makes the car feel so open. This lights up at night. I'll show that later. Frameless rear view mirror. And then a glass roof. That'll be cool going through a car wash, seeing what that looks like. Compared to like a Tesla Model S, this is leagues beyond it. I very much dislike Tesla interiors, especially from a materials and quality standpoint. I have not been impressed. Everything from Model 3 price point up to the Model S and Model X. Here, Lucid, they have done a good job for a luxury car interior. And there are definitely higher tiers too, but even for this one, things like the suede headliner, the fit finish is pretty good. Just some of the touch points I would have wanted to be a bit nicer. Being super picky, like the window switches. If they were like a little more premium feeling, that'd be fine. But overall, definitely quite impressed with this interior. This will be interesting to watch. Whoa. I don't think I've gone through a car wash with a giant glass canopy like this before. Soon we shall have a clean Lucid, and I'll go out and film some B-roll. All right, let's go fast. Okay, going to sprint, foot on the brake, foot all the way down. You'll see launch mode activated. You get the little bear. Put your head back on the headrest and wait for the light to turn green. Oh, whew. That's quick. This is 620 horsepower and 885 pound-feet of torque, 0 to 60 in 3.4 seconds, and this is nowhere close to being the quickest Lucid Air. The Sapphire is 1,234 horsepower, 1,430 pound-feet of torque, 0 to 60 in under 1.9 seconds. Yeah, but this is still quick, and also like mid-speed passing, I'm doing 55. Let me just floor it. Oh, yeah. Whew. Just finished up some filming with the Lucid. I did the full review. The sun is setting now. You see the Lucid logo lit up, and then the full width light bar that goes across with the silver surround. This really cool like unibrow treatment across the front. Makes it look really sleek and futuristic. I was battling the lighting on this car. It kept turning on and off because I was walking away. I just wanted this lighting signature to get exterior shots and pictures, and it kept like waking up and going to sleep if I got too far away, but got it to work. We have the 20-inch Aero disc wheels here, the Aero light wheels. They have this filled in, it's black, so it still looks like the silver design, but definitely helps with aerodynamics. Lucid logo there. 19-inch wheels would get you the 425 miles of range. This one has 384 with the 20-inch wheels. We have the Air logo right there with tiny little touring script to the side. Same thing on the logo on the back. The badge says Air, and in little letters underneath it says Touring. And then the Lucid lettering here in the actual tail light, which lights up and goes dark. The back seats here have better legroom and footroom because this has the 18 module battery pack. One of the complaints of the early ones was there wasn't enough space back here and the angle of the rear seat wasn't that great. So they fixed that with this model. Let's go ahead and hop in the back. There's actually a lot of space back here. A lot of lighting too. Tons of legroom, knee room, and it's definitely better. You can still see there's a little bit of like a lip there, a little hump. So like you can't put your feet all the way under the front seat. But for me back here at 6'3", I am pretty comfortable back here. Plenty of headroom. Have a little screen here for your heated seats, and you can put the sunshade up and down and climate it too, it looks like. Yeah, nice little touchscreen back here. Go ahead and get out. See the privacy shades are up in the back too. It's getting dark, sun is setting. Oh, even have a door sill plate back there, and up front it says Lucid. I think that one said Mojave, and then you can see some, I don't know what those coordinates are. Maybe it's Mojave Desert. Also a little Lucid logo there on this natural grain wood. I think it's North American walnut. That's the wood. You can see some of the ambient lighting is starting to show up because it's getting dark. Is there any back here? Yep, inside the door right there, and then there's that strip on the ceiling. I love the glass canopy, so cool. I know it's really getting dark now, but underneath here there's a LiDAR, there's a camera, and then there's another one down here. So yeah, a lot of sensors and cameras. There's also a camera right here, you see right there, and then another one right there. A lot of cameras and sensors on this. For the Dream Drive system, which I'm not a huge fan of, but hoping over-the-air updates in the future will make it even better and able to handle some amount of like semi-autonomous driving. We are the first car at the red light, which means we're gonna get to the speed limit as fast as possible. Testing out the highway assist feature on the stretch of road. I just long pressed it and it enabled it. So set the speed limit, adaptive cruise, the lane keep and everything, but you do have to keep a hand on the steering wheel so it gets annoyed at you. And it wasn't the smoothest, with a couple curves where like last second made it, see, it's floating over. Just not the top tier. It has all the sensors and cameras it needs, so hopefully over-the-air updates in the future will make this top tier competitive, but just by the fact that you have to keep a hand on the wheel on this stretch of road, which I know on this stretch of road I've used Super Cruise and it was fully hands-free. I was looking through everything under the Dream Drive menu and I see Auto Park Wheel Curb Assist, and here I'm thinking it's, oh, it'll prevent you from curbing your wheels. No, it says it automatically curbs the wheel for improved vehicle safety when auto park completes on a hill. So it turns the wheel, hopefully not actually like scraping your wheel on the curb. I don't think that's what it means, but that's a thing, so it doesn't like roll away or something like that. We have the window sticker here, so let's take a quick look. It's a 2023 Lucid Air Touring. We have the Zenith Red Metallic Paint, $1,000. Dream Drive Pro at $10,000. The interior theme of Mojave is included. Surreal Sound Pro, the sound system, at $4,000. Glass canopy roof is $4,500. 20-inch Aerolite wheels is included. So this one is showing as option $128,550, but the base price has changed. So I went on the website here and built one that should be identical, all the exact same features features and everything, and it's showing $111,700, so just under $112,000 if you were to order one like this today. Last full day with the Lucid, and it's been a hectic one. I just shipped the Z06 off. The A8 had to get some stuff done, so that's sitting in the middle of the garage, and now I'm gonna take the Lucid to go get some passport photos taken because I need an international driving permit for a trip to Japan in a couple weeks, and I'm gonna be driving there, so we'll take the Lucid out and wrap up our final thoughts on living with the Lucid Air Touring. Let's see how close you have to get for the Lucid to wake up. So I've got the car parked in this little courtyard outside of my garage, keys in my hand, approaching from behind. Still nothing, still nothing, still nothing. That's weird. It should have woken up by now. Oh, there we go. Huh. Maybe because I was approaching the car from behind. This car has done a great job to eliminate some of the range anxiety worries. 237 miles to empty. Done 82 miles on this charge. So tomorrow the Lucid is getting picked up, and I have a Genesis G80 electrified being dropped off, and this will illustrate the importance of range. I'm going to Michigan for just one night, and the Genesis range is like 282 miles rated, and the drive is over 300 miles, so I would have to stop for charging, which obviously adds time, inconvenience, and it'll be like in the middle of nowhere, Michigan, Kalamazoo or something. There is a charger there, and I admit I'm actually pretty stressed about that and concerned, because what if that charger doesn't work, like the whole setup? Because I've heard so many horror stories of charging stations not working, and I'll end up stuck in the middle of nowhere, and like, I might take the A8 instead. If I still had the Lucid and I had to make it all the way out there on a full charge, I would not be worried at all. I'd make it with probably 60, 70 miles left, but I would feel much more comfortable. And if something were to go wrong, that, I mean, almost 400 miles of range on this is definitely a bigger deal. That being said, I think on the freeway, the range is not going to be as close to your max rating because you're not using regen charging quite as much. But so far in real world usages, I've been doing pretty well with a mix of driving rather exuberantly and trying to be somewhat efficient. Look at that. Passport photos from CVS. Eddie looking all serious. We were told not to smile, so success. That has to be a glitch, that 6.2 miles per kilowatt hour, because 92 kilowatt hour battery pack times 6.2 would be 570 miles of range, and this doesn't have 570 miles of range. So I'm not sure what's going on with that one there. Pretty sure 4.62 miles per kilowatt hour is what the 19-inch wheel one is rated. All right, some final thoughts on my time with the Lucid Air Touring. I am properly impressed with this EV, especially as a first model from a startup. This is the first car they've built. They've had a couple iterations, different trim levels, model years to get to this point. Over their updates, I'm sure, has also improved some things like technology, for example, CarPlay. I remember it did not launch with Apple CarPlay, but now we have wireless CarPlay. The only big complaints I really have would be I don't like the driver assistance system implementation, the Dream Drive stuff. Not too terribly impressed, but at this price point, this one, the window sticker says $120,000. It has things like the glass roof, the Dream Drive, the upgraded sound system, but the price did drop $12,500. So you can get this for just over $100,000 plus. I think this still qualifies for the tax credit. I don't remember exactly. Either way, I would say that this is worth the price point because it has the luxury. I personally love the styling. I know styling is subjective, and I have seen some people complain about the styling. I'm like, well, this looks better than anything Tesla's made ever. It looks really sleek, futuristic, and it looks premium and expensive, and is not ugly like the Mercedes EQS. I think it looks way better than that. Practicality is great. The front trunk is cavernous. I could fit myself in there. The rear trunk is deep. The opening is not as usable. They've revised the interior spacing out back, so like legroom is a bit better, footroom, like from the battery pack reconfiguration, I think going to 18 modules fixed that versus the 22 modules. The front screens are great, the power is nice, the range is great, it can support extremely fast charging if you can have a charger that can handle that. It really checks a lot of the boxes I would look for any luxury electric car. I genuinely would personally lease one of these. I have never recommended buying like brand new EVs because I think that technology is advancing so quickly. So even though this has really good range, really good power, I think in 5 years time, right, there could be a completely different landscape in the EV market as maybe solid state batteries come out or just all these other improvements. So leasing one of these, I keep getting targeted ads from Lucid, the Pure. I think they were advertising like $82,000 base price, and like the lease price was actually somewhat reasonable. So yeah, yeah, those are my final thoughts on living with the Lucid Air Touring. Very impressed. I'm going to be sad to see this one go. I wish I could have even more time with the Lucid Air, and that's a good sign from me. Also, make sure you check out the full review. I did a more technical, in-depth review evaluating this specific car. This, again, was the more informal vlog, living with a Lucid Air Touring. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching.